Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Robert Almendarez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Almendarez. Mr. Almendarez, you are here on a Superior Court new case and on a failure to appear warrant. In your new case, sir, I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of possession or use of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession or use of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. Also, one count of criminal trespass in the third degree, that's a Class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. Your case will be heard at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Almendarez, you have a status conference August 8th, 8:30, 1 a.m. Preliminary hearing August 12th, 8:30, 1 a.m. Sir, you were on felony release at the time you were arrested on these new felonies. By law, that means you are non-bondable. So you will have an evidentiary hearing on August 9th at 1:30 p.m. The judge at that time will determine whether you are bondable and what your bond and release conditions will be. Now, Mr. Almendarez, briefly regarding your failure to appear warrant, you have a status conference August 8th, 8:30, 1 a.m., downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming the cash-only bond in the amount of $1,000. However, do not pay that amount. Even if you were to pay that, you would not be released because of your new case in which you're non-bondable. And by not paying the bond, that means the time you spend in custody right now will count towards time served. Mr. Almendarez, do you have any questions?
So I know that I'm not going to be released, but you said the status conference.
Right, so your failure to appear case, you have a status conference August 8th.
Yeah.
In your new case, you have also your status conference is August 8th, and then you have an evidentiary hearing August 9th. That's the hearing to determine whether you're bondable.
Mm-hmm. So with the status conference, I could be released.
No, you cannot be released until August 9th.
Until August 9th, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, I see.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Almendarez.
All right, thank you.
Noka Nash and then Gustavo Sandoval will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Noka Nash.
Thank you, Ms. Nash. Ms. Nash, you are here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, Class 3 felony, two counts of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, one count of unlawfully discharging a firearm in city limits, a Class 6 felony, one count of threatening or intimidating, a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. Your case will be heard at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Nash, you have a status conference August 8th, 8:30, 1 a.m., preliminary hearing August 12th, 8:30, 1 a.m. I am setting bond in your case in the amount of $100,000. That is cash only. So you can work with the lending institution or bonding company. I don't know what their terms would be. However, you do have a warrant out of the Navajo County Superior Court for a probation violation in which you are non-bondable. So even if you were to pay the bond, you would not be able to be released because of the Navajo County warrant. If you do have probation reinstated in Navajo County, you will have an ankle monitor installed if you pay your bond. And also, and this does apply now whether you are released or not, you're not to initiate any contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses. All right, Ms. Nash, then regarding your Navajo County warrant, this is for probation violation. I've appointed you an attorney for the hearing. It's an arraignment hearing August 7th, 8:30 a.m. at the Navajo County Superior Courthouse. You are non-bondable in this case. So once your Maricopa County cases are resolved, then you will be transported there. Finally, you have a probation violation warrant in Maricopa County as well for alleged violations of terms 3, 5, and 15. I've appointed you an attorney, and you have a hearing August 9th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Nash, do you have any questions?
The big thing is that I did a missing person for my daughter, and I don't know if you're able to see that or anything. I just wanted to make sure if that went through, because the victim is the person that I believe has something to do with my daughter being missing, because she did leave some messages before she did go missing. She's been missing for a week now.
Okay. So, Ms. Nash, if your daughter's missing, I mean, I don't have any information about that, but that's something then that needs to be talked to by the police. You don't take matters into your own hands. Otherwise, this is the end result.
Right.
So, thank you, Ms. Nash. Gustavo Sandoval and then Eduardo Rodriguez will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Gustavo Sandoval.
Thank you, Mr. Sandoval. Mr. Sandoval, you are here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations, one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. It's a Class 3 felony. One count of unlawful flight from law enforcement in a vehicle, a Class 5 felony. One count of DUI, a Class 1 misdemeanor. One count of obstruction of justice. Refusing to provide your true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor. One count of resisting arrest using passive resistance, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 8th, 8:31 a.m. Preliminary hearing August 12th, 8:31 a.m. That is at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Sandoval, I am setting bond in the amount of $50,000. That is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $50,000 would be $5,000. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You also must comply with supervision, and you will have an ankle monitor installed. Also, beginning on your first court date, you will start drug and alcohol testing and monitoring. You also must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're also not to possess any weapons, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. Mr. Sandoval, do you have any questions?
Yes. When will I have a lawyer setting up the bond? I'm able to get released, or?
Yes, so if you pay the bond, you will be released. You'll meet your attorney on August 8th, your first court date.
And then what was the total for the bond? I'm sorry.
The total is $50,000, but it is secured appearance, which means you can work with a bail bonding company. You pay them $5,000, plus you put up collateral, and then they pay the $50,000 bond for you.
What if I'm not able to post bond?
If you're unable to post bond, you'll remain in custody until August 8th. Another judge can modify this. You can also speak with your attorney about requesting modification.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm a single father of 3. My kids are at home with my sister right now, and their mom actually abandoned us, or them, about 4 or 5 months ago, and she doesn't have no contact with me, doesn't have contact with them. And she came about a month ago, and she broke my window. And this morning she came to the house, and she was calling me that she was in trouble. So I followed her, and as I followed her, she was like trying to crash into me, and I cut her off. And when I cut her off, she crashed. She hit my car, and she was on the phone with the officers. And that's when the officers followed me home. We were across the street. The officers followed me home, and then they tackled me. They tackled me. They gun pointed at me, and I got bruises on me. They didn't take pictures of me. They were threatening me, and they were just using unlawful force. And I was scared at the moment. I had my family out there, and it was a horrible experience.
I mean, sir, at any point it seems like you could have just driven away and called the police.
I was on the phone with the officers. I was on the phone with the operator, and when the officer came behind me, I waved them down, and then I told them I'm on the phone with the operator, and they got me gun down in the car. I got off the car, and as soon as I stepped out the car, they tackled me on top of the cactus. I have cactus in my front yard. They tackled me on top of the cactus. They stood on my back. They stepped on my leg, and they twisted my hand too.
I mean, here's the problem, Mr. Sandoval. Let's say everything you're telling me is true, okay? Let's just assume for a moment. When officers are asking for your name and you're refusing to provide it,
No, sir.
makes me so I can't believe the rest of your story.
No, so they were like, "We know who you are. Get on the ground." So I got on the ground, and then they started. They never read me my random rights.
So, Mr. Sandoval, I'm not going to debate this case with you. there will be body cam footage. Maybe your story is true, but I'll tell you, it's so dramatically different than what's written here.
It is.
Yeah, so I'm saying, maybe it's true, I don't know, but I have to, this is the information I have to go off of, that I have
my
here.
kids, Your Honor.
Mr. Sandoval, and my job is to protect the community. The state constitution requires me to set a bond based off of community safety.
I don't have $50,000, Your Honor.
And Mr. Sandoval, but my concern, the Constitution requires me to set a bond based off of public safety. I'm very concerned about public safety, what I'm reading here. So that's why I've set that bond.
I provide for my kids. I'm the only one that they have. I work for them. I do everything for them. I bathe them, I shower them, I feed them. I do everything. Their first day of school is on Monday. And I don't know who's going to be able to take them or what's going to be about them if I'm not there.
And Mr. Sandoval, I mean, I truly feel for your kids in this situation. However, again, I have to protect public safety. So whether there were kids or not, I would keep the same bond in place based on the facts that I'm reading here, sir, or the information that I have to take as fact.
I asked.
Mr. Sandoval, I'm not going to change the bond. Thank you, sir.